Great. So, welcome everybody. It's so great to have you here, especially because it was such short notice. And as we came into December, and I started seeing posts coming up on my feed by other mums saying that they were starting to feel stressed already, and I just thought, I really want to support mums. Like, it's my passion. It is my passion to support mums every single day of the year, to have the most extraordinary, connected, joyful, peaceful relationships with their kids. And for those of you that maybe this is the first time of kind of connecting with me, I'm the founder of Yes Parenting. My name is Bea Marshall, and I am a parenting expert within the media, but I'm primarily a intuitive parenting coach. And I help parents, mums in particular, to integrate yes parenting into their families, just to absolutely transform things. And it's amazing the transformation that happens in families when they begin to respond with yes parenting. And so much about the way that I share yes parenting with mums is really, it all starts with us. Okay, it doesn't start with our kids, it all starts with us. And I think what happens with Christmas is our attention gets flung outwards, and we often forget about ourselves. And I think that's understandable. If we have kids in school, there are school plays, and there's costumes, and there's school parties, and there's all of these things. You might be wanting to get a present for your teacher, and if your kids aren't in school yet, there's still all the things going on, and you've got to organise where you're going to be. You might have family politics that you're dealing with. There is so much stuff, and I can hear I could hear somebody's noise, but everyone's muted now. And there's just so much stuff to think about. And then there's the food and the gifts and the money and everything. So the purpose of this webinar is I really want to help you get through December with less stress. That is the key purpose of this webinar. And by the end of this webinar, what I want is that I want for you to have at least one strategy, one action point, one nugget that you can take away with you, and you can implement it so that you can have a wonderful Christmas, a relaxed December, that you can feel calm and organized. And I'd be surprised if there are the kind of mums on this call who naturally feel that way, because I'm guessing that this webinar wouldn't appeal to you. But there are definitely mums out there who seem to just glide. They're organised, everything seems to be sussed. But then there's the rest of us who are very like me, that flounder around in stress and disorganisation. And I want to share with you how Christmas used to be for me, because this is not how it is anymore. But if I kind of rewind 3 years ago, I worked so hard to make an amazing Christmas for my kids. And they were really disappointed in their presents. I ended up literally sitting on the floor of the kitchen, just in tears. And I couldn't even explain what it was. I just had all these high hopes for this amazing Christmas. I had worked so hard. And for my children to be complaining and disappointed with their gifts, and I still had to drive to my parents, and I just didn't feel like I had the energy to do that 2.5-hour drive. And I just really wish that Christmas would disappear. And it was kind of like this culmination of lots of Christmases where I had found myself doing everything last minute, experiencing the stress when the shops don't have what you need them to have, or you're like, oh shit, I forgot to buy my mother-in-law a present, and I've got to go into town and sort the present out, and you just, it's that last minute stress is horrible. I would often feel as well that like my Christmases were never good enough. Like, everyone else somehow was doing a better Christmas than me, and I had this sense that my Christmas was never good enough. My planning wasn't good enough. My food wasn't good enough. My everything just wasn't good enough, and it just would drag me down. I also used to just find like my kids just literally were doing my head in. It was like the 1st of December came, and as we moved through December, My children would get more and more excited. There would be more and more noise, more and more chaos, more and more kind of just literally, I was just like, it has to stop. I just couldn't find any space for it anymore. And I couldn't cope with their energy. I couldn't cope with their complaining. I couldn't cope with their I want. Oh, I remember it now, and I just was like, oh, this is not how I want Christmas to be. And I was chaotic, I was disorganized, and I would often end up in tears. And I would literally, I don't know if you used to do this at school, but I remember when I was at school, you had a big test coming up or a deadline or something, and you really hadn't done the work for it. I would fantasize about, I would fantasize about breaking my leg, or somehow there being some incredible intervention that would mean that whatever it was didn't have to happen. And I started to find that with Christmas. I kind of was hoping that there was going to be some huge intervention, like we'd all get some kind of avian bird flu that was some kind of epidemic in the world, or I don't know, something would happen that would mean I wouldn't have to deal with Christmas. That was how Christmas became for me. And at the point when I found myself, it probably wasn't even 9 a.m. and I was in tears on the floor in the kitchen, I just thought, this cannot happen anymore. I have to work out how to take the principles by which I parent, and I have to apply them to this. I have to work out, how do I be Marshall, being the person that I am, I can't be anyone else. How do I manage to have Christmas that is relaxed, where I am excited? Because I have always loved Christmas. As a kid, it was so exciting for me. How do I get that excitement back? Because I don't think that excitement is just for our kids. That excitement is there for all of us. And I certainly didn't want to become really kind of bar humbug and complaining about Christmas. And although when I saw Christmas merchandise in August in the shops, I remember that year being like, whoa, that is too much. But fortunately now they do wait until after Halloween in the UK. So yeah, I had to change things. So let me tell you about how Christmas is for me now, after this kind of pivotal Christmas 3 years ago. Now, Christmas is fun. I say the beginning of December. I actually start thinking about Christmas weeks and weeks and weeks ago. But as November rolls into the end and it starts getting colder and there's no leaves on the trees anymore, I start to get this Christmas excitement. Where the city that we live in is built on 7 hills, and often when I'm driving down, because the afternoons are getting darker, so I'm driving back home at the end of the day, and I see all the city lights, and it's like Christmas lights, and I just get excited. Any sparkle and things. I have this childlike excitement, and it stays with me. The 1st of December, the 2nd of December, the 3rd of December, and it starts to grow. And I feel that childlike kind of thrill that I remember from when I was a kid. And I have that now as a grown-up. And I also have balance and calm. So there is this excitement that's growing and bubbling, and I'm kind of quite giddy. But there is this beautiful balance and calm. I am peaceful as I go into December. I know what I need to do. I am aware of where I need to spend my time and my energy. I am aware of who needs what from me, and I have really clear boundaries that I'm able to protect. And that means that I have this lovely, calm experience. I have the balance of the calm on the one side with the giddy excitement on the other. And what's also brilliant about that is that I have worked out how to invite my boys into that balance of calm and excitement. They're 10 and 12. They're very much their own people. They're very clear about what they want at Christmas and the experience they want to have. But I have learned how to bring them into this balance of excitement and calm. I am happy and my kids are happy. There isn't that kind of complaining or kind of bar humbugness going on in any of us. We are all so happy together during December. We're all so happy together as we kind of like roll into Christmas Day. Even with the kind of, the inevitable kind of tensions that you get sometimes when you've got kind of, I don't know, we have about 12 or 15 people all converge at my parents' house, and inevitably you get tensions, and you're all the different age groups, but we're just happy throughout. We are happy throughout everything that's going on. And the other thing I find now is that I enjoy the details. Even though December, it has this momentum to it, and you find yourself at Christmas before you know it, I notice the details. I find that each day I just am aware of the details that are around me that kind of are bringing forth this wonderful event that's coming up. And I'm aware of the kind of the different layers of details, the stories around Christmas, the traditions of Christmas, the way that my friends and I engage with each other, my family, my children, the organization, like all of these details, I kind of notice them and I enjoy them. They're not stressful for me. I no longer have that feeling of not being good enough because of whatever. I'm just noticing and enjoying the details, and it's really wonderful. I feel organized. I feel relaxed. I know what I need to buy and when I need to buy it. My money is all in order. It's a joy to me to do all of the different jobs that need doing at Christmas, and to be ready for Christmas. And I'm relaxed about doing those things. I'm relaxed about the party that we host. I'm relaxed about the managing the time and the energy and all of those things. It's really wonderful. And I'm also, I've worked out now as well how to make Christmas be as much something for me as it is for my children. People talk about, Christmas is for the children, and I just think that's rubbish. Christmas is for everyone. Like, Christmas spirit is for everybody. The joy of Christmas is for all of us to share. And, I love that. So what I've done over the last 3 years is I've really worked out how to support myself through December. And much of that is how I support myself throughout the rest of the year. But I'm aware that in December, more is required of me. So I support myself with a greater level of attention and intentionality. So I spend time in meditation, doing visualizations. I use audio versions of those. I've created my own as well. I really prioritize me time. That's so important for me to have me time, because it's only when I say yes to myself and to my own needs, I'm then able to give out to others. So I prioritize my me time. And I've also worked out little organizational hacks. So, someone is unmuted. I wonder who that is. Oh, there we are. There we go. I have these little organizational hacks that I really put into practice at Christmas, so that nothing is overwhelming. Everything happens at exactly the right time. I always know like what's going on with my money and what's going on with, what I need to spend on. The time and energy management, like I've worked it all out. And considering how kind of fly by the seat of my pants I am, it's actually pretty extraordinary that I've done this, because I've always craved like order and systems and processes, but my ability to put those in place or even to stick to them is just kind of like zero. But in the last 3 years, because I was like, I am not willing to spend a month of my life with this stress and frazzle and exhaustion. I have worked out how to do it. So I want to share on this call 2 ways specifically that you can begin to act differently. You can start today. And if you commit to these things, or even if you just commit to one of these things, you are going to experience such a different December. and such a different Christmas. And I really want that for you. I don't want for you to have the stressed and frazzled and exhausted experience that so many mums talk about. I don't want for you to have to be worrying about the family politics. I don't want for you to be feeling anxious about your children's behaviour when you go to your parents' house or when you're out shopping and things like that. I want for you to feel relaxed, organised and excited alongside me this December and this Christmas. So the first way is gratitude. And a lot of people talk about gratitude. And the reason that a lot of people talk about gratitude is it is so powerful. One of the things I think happens at Christmas is we do get caught up in, or many of us get caught up in the consumerist side of Christmas. We are buying presents, we are buying food. Even if we are consciously choosing to buy from independent makers and creators, from independent businesses, if we're choosing that conscious consumerism, we're still focused on buying and what people want. And in the middle of all of that, we often forget to actually just be grateful for what we have right now, to take time each day to give thanks. And we can literally give thanks for the fact that we have a roof over our head, the fact that most people engaging with me on this call are living in peaceful cultures. We are not living under war. We are safe. We have food. We have fresh flowing water. We can start there. And then from that place, we can spread out into all sorts of other gratitudes. The fact that we have access to a phone, the fact that we have money in a bank account, the fact that we have friends and family to be with during December, that we are not on our own. There is so much to be grateful for. And as we step into gratitude, as we begin to give thanks for those things that we are surrounded by, for the people in our life, for their qualities, that gratitude changes how we perceive our reality. It shifts our perspective. So that is my first way that I want to share with you. And if you don't really know how to start in terms of gratitude, I want to recommend two different options for you, and you can do both of them. The first option is that you grab a journal or a notebook or even just paper, and either when you wake up in the morning or when you go to bed at night, or both of those, you just list 5 or 10 things that you are thankful for in that moment. And even if you have had a bit of a shitty day, or you've got a day ahead of you that you're dreading, you can still find 5 or 10. You may notice that you want to keep writing. So if that's the case, you just go ahead, you just keep writing out things that you're grateful for. So that's the first way. The second way is that you engage the people that you live with, your children, your partner, and over a meal or something, you just say, I'd love us each to share 3 things about today that we're really thankful for, 3 gratitudes. Because as you share them together and you talk about them, it increases connection with the people that you're around. And connection is one of the most important needs that we have as human beings. So first, get a journal or a notebook and write out 5 to 10 things that you are grateful for. And you do it every single day. If you commit to doing this every single day, your experience of December and of Christmas will transform. And the other option is over a mealtime when you're with your families, you just invite everyone to share 3 gratitudes, and then you can chat about them. And I hear wonderful stories of, just people learning so much new stuff about the people that they're with every single day, because it surprises them what those people are grateful for. And then you get to learn that about them. The second way that I know for a fact that will transform your experience of Christmas, that will transform your December, that will make every single day more balanced, more calm, more relaxed, and give you space to enter into the excitement of Christmas, is self-care. And anyone who is in my parenting Facebook groups or follows my post or is on my newsletter, you will know that saying yes to yourself, to your needs, is the first step of yes parenting. It's the first step of what it means to be a human. You have to say yes to your own needs in order to have the resources to say yes to the needs around you. And we know that December and Christmas is a time of increased demands on our time and energy. Now, I certainly know for myself in the past, and still occasionally now, like there have been times when self-care has gone out of the window. Certainly if you're feeling stressed already, you might notice that you don't have any self-care at all. So I want to give you quickly a few basic needs that you can take note of and actively focus on saying yes to those needs for yourself. The first is to eat nourishing food. The second is to drink plenty of water. For the last few weeks, I have only wanted hot water. If I drink cold water, it feels really wrong in my body. Look, I have my kettle next to me in my office. I fill it up, I put it on, and then I have this giant mug. And so I just drink so much hot water, but it feels so good in my body. But drinking plenty of water is such an important part of meeting your needs. The third need is movement, to move your body and to preferably do it outside. You know, when it gets colder, we get stuck inside and the central heating's on and we don't necessarily get outside, but even just going outside for a short walk and moving your body and getting the fresh air is a really important way of saying yes to your own needs. Rest and sleep. You know, I am such a fan of napping. I think naps are genius, and I will often take a nap, and I'm quite careful to keep my nap to about 30 minutes. I know for myself that if I go over 30 minutes, I start to feel groggy when I wake up. But if I keep my nap to 30 minutes, even if I don't fall asleep, just going into that space where my head switches off, my body is rested, you know, it really revives me. And you know, they've done a lot of studies on this now. You can look into sleep studies about napping and the power of napping. So rest and sleep are again so important. You know, that's the space wherein your body can process all the thoughts it has. It can do healing and growth and all that kind of stuff. And then the fifth need I mentioned earlier when I talked about the gratitude, the fifth primary need that we have as humans is connection. Being connected to other human beings. So it's not, I don't think, just enough to live in the same building as someone else. Connection is about relationship. It's about sharing ourselves with others and creating space in which they can share themselves with us. And with children, connection can often be about play, can just be being present with them, listening to them when they want to talk to you ad nauseum about Minecraft or, I don't know, whatever it is that they, Pokemon or whatever it is that they want to talk to you about. Connection is about being really present and really being with someone. So it might mean picking up the phone to your best friend. It might mean creating like a movie night with popcorn, but having that shared experience. Connection might mean, all going out for a walk together. Connection can be all sorts of different things. It might be meeting your mum for a cup of tea. Connection can be all sorts of things. But beginning to recognize these needs in yourself and honoring those needs and saying yes to them is the essential self-care that you need to ensure that you have a relaxed, excited, and stress-free December. Now, I want to share something with you now that I have been developing over the last few weeks, and it's not too late to engage with it. It's the Yes Parenting Advent Calendar. And what I wanted to do was create 24 days of unwavering support for mums who know that their Decembers and their Christmases are typically stressed. And I'm going to be very clever now, and I'm going to share my screen again. Let's hope that this works. I'm getting good at this, I think. Right. Okay, so, okay. So I want to share some of the content that you can expect to get if you choose to engage with this support. So every day there is an email, and that email goes through something different. It shares things from my heart. It shares wisdom, top tips, the organizational hacks I've mentioned. I also am sharing with you beautiful graphics with really valuable affirmations. If you haven't discovered affirmations, I share with you how to get the most out of affirmations. But affirmations are a really powerful way to change your mindset. And then the other thing that I've done alongside recipes and traditions and stories and things that I also share, I have recorded videos that share with you top tips and meditations, breathing exercises, all of the things that I use myself in order to maximize my relaxation, my ability to be balanced and calm. I take care of myself, and I've put these together and I'm sharing with you. And once you have all of these, you then have access to use those week after week, year after year. They're not going to be taken away from you. So although with the the Yes Parenting Advent Calendar, you're getting these 24 days of incredible support, you're also getting resources that you can go back to again and again and again. Now, I'm only making this Advent Calendar available for a couple more days because I want to make sure that you're not inundated with multiple emails, and you'll need to have like a couple of emails a day to catch up, but that's not a problem at all. It's £24, which is just under $30. And there is the web address so that you can sign up now and get your copy of it. And people who are already receiving it are messaging me saying, oh my God, the email I got today was just wonderful. Please, can I buy this as a gift from someone else? This is so valuable. It is extraordinary support. And the other thing I want to let you know about it, I'm going to put the link in a minute. I'm going to copy and paste the link into the chat bar on the webinar so that you can click through really easily in case you're trying to scribble this down. But £1 of every single Advent calendar I sell is going to a UK-based charity that ensures that no elderly person is alone at Christmas unless they want to be. So every time you buy one of these Advent calendars, whether it's for yourself or as a gift for someone that you know, you are ensuring that no elderly person is on their own on Christmas Day unless they want to be. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen with you. Oh no, it doesn't want to do that. Okay, there we are. I'm back again. I am going to get the link. I'm getting so proud of myself with my technical skills because I couldn't do this a while ago. I'm going to open up the chat and I'm going to put this in here for you so that if you want to grab an Advent calendar, you can get one now because it's really not too late. I'm only making it available for another couple of days. Now, it's 6:30. And I am available for a few more minutes to answer any questions. So if you have any questions that you want to ask me now about how you can maximize feeling calm, relaxed, and excited this Christmas without the stress and the frazzle and the exhaustion you're used to, I'm really happy to answer those questions. So go ahead and type your questions in the chat bar and I will answer them. And I do have another 10 minutes if anyone has any questions, but if not, we don't have to stick around on the call, although it's always lovely to see you all and I love being able to see people's faces. And Beverly's here, which is amazing. Hello, Beverly. Let me quickly tell you while bye, Charlotte. While people are just thinking about any questions they might have, let me tell you about Beverly, because Beverly has been the guest expert in my membership group for the last week. So I have this membership group. It's a monthly subscription. It's absolutely incredible. It's such wonderful support, and it's also like one of the most incredible communities I've ever been part of. The mums in there say it's their village. So Beverly's been in there as guest expert this week, and every single day she's shown up via live video, and she's brought this incredible energy. Now, Bev is the founder of the Happy Kids cards, and she ships worldwide 52 cards. In fact, I have my cards right here, because these are, honestly, if you're not sure about what to buy certain people for Christmas, these Happy Kids cards, okay, they are just absolutely fantastic. And Bev has been sharing all of these top tips for how to use Happy Kids cards for confidence, calm, and happiness in your families. And I would really recommend them to you. So it's really great that Bev's joined on this webinar. So I've noticed that no one has typed any questions, which is absolutely fine. Obviously, I've shared with you amazing things in this webinar, and I'm really glad to do that. Do buy yourself an advent calendar, and like other mums have done, buy one for a friend, because the emails are just wonderful. I mean, I know I created them, but they really are wonderful, and that's the messages that I am getting from the mums who already have them. They're saying, oh, I've just seen that I just got distracted because Bev has said, pick a card for us. I will pick a card for everyone. Yeah, the emails that I'm getting from people who have already invested in the advent calendar is that they just can't believe how brilliant it is, and the value, you know, the quality and the value of the content. Okay, I'm going to pick a card, and then I'm going to end the webinar. But, you know, you can always message me on Facebook if you have any questions. Okay, here we go. We're going to pick this one. I love to learn. I love to learn. And it says, what did I learn today? And do you know what I learned today? Let me think. What did I learn today? I have actually had an amazing day of learning. I've been out on 2 different dog walks, and on my dog walk this morning, just around my local park, my dog was attacked by another dog, which is a bit of a table turn because my dog is a rescue dog, and sometimes she does go for other dogs. I have to be quite careful. Anyway, the other dog owner, he was brilliant, and he was really apologetic, and I was able to respond to him with what I like to call the fuck it approach. So fuck is an acronym for forgiveness, understanding, compassion, and kindness. It's one of the most powerful ways to respond to yourself, to your children, to your partner, to anybody. And I watched him go from feeling defensive and anxious, and his dog was like really freaking out at this point, even though it was on its lead. And as I responded to him with forgiveness, understanding, compassion, and kindness, and let him know that it really was okay what had happened, that he'd handled it brilliantly, and that I understood, he relaxed and his dog relaxed. And it was this really beautiful moment of learning for me that we have so much power in the way that we engage with others, not just with our children, not just with ourselves, but we have so much power to change the world through the way that you know, we engage with strangers, and especially the people that maybe do mess up. So that was a massive learning for me today, and I came straight back and I did a Facebook Live video about it for my Facebook group, Discovering Yes. So that's my learning. Anyway, I'm sure you have all learned loads of things today. So I'm going to go now. I hope that I hope that for those of you that are buying the Advent calendar, I hope that it brings you all of the support that you need this December, and you have these resources to take with you into the rest of the year, into 2017. And it's really magical. Sarah says, I've learned yet again I need to drink more water. Thanks for the reminder. Yeah, honestly, water it's magical stuff, and especially hot water. Hot water is all I want at the moment. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that, Sarah. Okay, well, have a wonderful evening and the rest of your day. I know some of you are in America, so you've still got sunshine and light. And over in the UK, we're now in darkness, but that's wonderful because I can go and light candles and get snuggly with my boys. And we're going to have family film night tonight. We're watching E.T. And my boys have never watched E.T. before, so I'm so excited to watch ET with my boys. It's going to be so amazing. ET phone home. So yeah, I am beside myself with excitement about that. So that's what my evening looks like. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me. Super short notice webinar. Been really great to share this stuff with you, and I will speak to you all soon. Bye-bye.